Hi, I'm the Las Vegas Cowgirl, and I'm glad to be excited to be here with Safe Nest. And this is Hannah Brooke, and she's with Safe Nest, another awesome group that we have in the community. And not only that, I talked to her for a few minutes before we started, and they reach 50,000 people. And that is just wow. So let's get it started, Hannah.
Hi, thank you for having me. Safe Nest is a domestic violence shelter that has been in Las Vegas since 1977, and we solely work with domestic violence victims.
Wow, and how did you get started with this?
I became passionate about it quite a few years ago. I've been in the social services nonprofit world for quite a few years. I was actually the executive director for the Rape Crisis Center for a couple of years, got burned out.
Wow.
And then went into some different nonprofits, but the pull was back to social services, and violence against women is what I like to help.
Well, we are really glad that you're with us, and we're really glad that you're doing this.
Well, thank you.
And so we talked about your shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little about the shelter, and where can the community go to help out?
Well, one of the unique things about Safe Nest, and specifically our shelter, is that our shelter is in a confidential location, which is very important for the safety of victims when they're in the process of leaving their partner or their spouse, because when they determine that they want to leave and make that decision, then that is normally the most dangerous time.
Oh, okay.
And so it's very important that they are placed somewhere that is safe for them, and if they have children with them, it's just very important, because that's really the first step in healing, is feeling that safety feeling and feeling that they're in a place where they can gather their thoughts, rest for a moment, I guess you could say, and then start working on their next phase in their life.
Is there a website that the community can go to volunteer or to send money?
Yeah, actually, if you go to safenest.org, SAFENEST.org, you can go right on our website and see what all of our programs are about, as well as make a monetary donation. And if you are interested in being an advocate for Safe Nest or volunteering for Safe Nest, you just need to fill out the application and send that into our volunteer coordinator, Terry. And we hold advocacy trainings 2 times a year, because you do need a minimum of 20 hours of training to be an advocate for domestic violence victims.
And that's good, because then you know that the person that you're talking to has been trained and they know exactly what's happening with you. Also, we talked about you have a hotline, which I didn't understand. That's awesome.
Yes. In some instances, when it may take a while for someone to get the confidence to leave. And so we have a hotline that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And that number is 702-646-4981. Again, that number is 702-646-4981. And the beauty is you can call up and just talk to someone, and they will walk you through the steps. Again, they're advocates, they're trained, and they listen very well. And sometimes a domestic violence victim just needs to talk to someone that's not going to be judging them, because as much as we want to help our friends or our family, we're judgers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a fact. And so what the advocate will do is they will help them come up with a safety plan, or they will say, well, this is what you need to do to file for a temporary protective order.
Wow.
So
they help them through the process.
Exactly. And we're the only domestic violence shelter in Las Vegas that actually has the ability to apply for a TPO for a victim.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. So you can do that for the victim.
Yes, we can help the victim fill out the application, get the process started. Otherwise, they're going to have to go right down to family court.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so if someone feels like they're not sure, they should call and see, maybe they don't know if it is a domestic violence situation or not. They can call and talk to a trained professional,
right,
who can talk them through it. And if they realize, okay, well, let me try this again, they might give them some steps they can do to feel safe
Well, and many times a victim will call and they don't even know for sure whether or not they're experiencing domestic violence. Domestic violence doesn't need to be just physical.
Okay,
It can also
okay.
be financial. It can be emotional. So there's other things that the advocates are trained on to help people identify that, yes, they definitely are in a domestic violence situation and these are the steps they need to take, or maybe not. Maybe you need some serious marriage counseling. But our thought process is if you pick up that hotline, you're most definitely probably in that type of situation and you need some extra help, and that's okay. That's what we're there for.
And if you don't feel like using it, at least you have someone to talk to.
Exactly.
Have someone to kind of like get your feelings out and work through the situation.
Right, and there's lots of instances as well where a victim, they're just not going to leave, whether it's because they have children or pets. Pets are a big reason why people won't leave a relationship. And so it's just that opportunity for them to talk to someone.
What about the statistics? I heard that, you reach quite a few people.
Right. Last year, Safe Nest helped over 50,000 victims in domestic violence relationships. And it wasn't just through our shelter. We don't have a shelter that large. We help them through our confidential shelter, our hotline, as well as Advocacy. Other statistics, it's 1 in 4 women that are affected by domestic violence or domestic abuse in the United States. In Las Vegas, that statistic is down to 1 in 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're glad we have you. We really have
Yeah.
Safe Nest.
Yes.
Thank you for your services.
Yep.
And also, what about the advocacy?
Advocacy, the great things about the advocates, they can do multiple things. They can either work the hotline or maybe they go to court. So let's say you go to court because you're filing a TPO or you're going through the process, so you're going to have to meet with the judge. Many times an advocate can simply escort a victim into the courtroom. They don't necessarily need a lawyer or have a lawyer.
Yeah.
And it might give them that extra boost of confidence. The advocate can't testify for them or speak for them, but they can be the hand holder. And sometimes that's all they need.
Because sometimes, you have that fear because you were in the situation with that person.
Yes, exactly. And our advocates also can work in our children's room. So while mom might be in group or might be going through a therapy session, we have a great children's group, an area where the kids play, and that is an opportunity for the kids to have an outlet because a lot of times the kids are considered secondary victims in a domestic violence situation.
Okay.
They're just as affected, if not more, than the victim themselves.
Wow. So you not only have the service for the victims, you have the service for the children.
Exactly.
And then what I was really excited about hearing with your charity is that you actually help the person that's causing the situation, So how does that work?
So one of the great services that Safe Nest also provides is Batterers Group, or Batterers Treatment. And so we have counselors, we have support groups, and we have support groups for not only victims, we have support groups for teenagers that are victims going through teen dating violence or kids that have witnessed domestic violence. But then we also want to break the cycle completely, and so that's why we have the Batterers Group.
And that's what's really exciting to me.
Yeah, so sometimes it's court ordered, but we still have it, and we still are there to help the batter deal with whatever issues that they're going through. And it may not be a support group they need. Maybe they need to go through some counseling that we're able to provide as well. And unfortunately, too, CPS sometimes orders it.
Oh, okay.
But
it's still there, and it's good because they probably need help, and they want help, and they don't know how to get the help.
Exactly.
And that's great to have that out there in the community for the whole family, just to help the whole family, because we are family orientated here, and we want to help everybody at Safe Nest.
Exactly.
And also, what upcoming events do you have that we could help out to support you?
We have 2 events coming up. One is Saturday, May 14th, Saturday, May 14th, and that's going to be held at Container Park from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. It's a worldwide event. It's called Shimmy Mob. So if you like to belly dance or shake what your mama gave you, you can go on down.
Do it.
You can go on down to Container Park from that time, and they do a worldwide, belly dancing shimmy shake thing, and it simply raises awareness for domestic violence.
So
worldwide.
When I come to that, I'm gonna do. You don't have to have the belly dancing stuff, right?
No.
You could just come, everybody just come, and then how do we pay? How do we?
No, they accept donations on our behalf, and we'll have some tables set up just to give people more information on domestic violence, on what Safeness is all about. But it's just a different way to help raise awareness.
It's great.
Yeah.
So anybody can go and just come and just donate whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with donating, and have a great time.
Exactly. And then our second event is Saturday, May 21st, and it's going to be held at the Mandarin. It's our high tea, and that's from 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. Tickets are $75 per person. You can go on our website to purchase them at safeness.org under events. And it's just silent auction. Zoe Bowie's going to perform. So we got some things going on that day.
Ooh, sounds like fun. Well, I'm going to keep busy helping you out, Hannah.
Well, thank you.
Sounds like fun. I like all of them. What else? Okay, say that I'm out in the community and I want to join, so I would just go to the website and I would go under, what would I go under to join?
Well, you can either, if you're looking to volunteer, you just go click on the volunteer tag on our website, or if you don't want to volunteer because you don't have the time, you can always do a little house cleaning and find some used clothing, gently used clothing, and donate those items to our shelter as well. And you can call our office at 877-0133 and get our donation number to schedule a pickup. So all of that helps just as much as anything else.
Okay, so if I could do that would be great. I would just go through, do our spring clean. This is the time to do it.
It is the time before the heat.
Oh yeah, before it's too hot. Go through everything you have that you don't want, and then call up, and then you pick it up.
Exactly.
Oh, that's easy. Well, that's an easy way to help. What else can you think of that we can do as a community to help you?
Well, one of our other programs that I want to talk about, we do preventative education in the Clark County School District. So we have coordinators that go into the schools throughout the district, and we talk about healthy relationships. Especially as a young child, you don't know any difference of what's right behavior and what's wrong behavior necessarily in terms of relationships. So if mom and dad aren't getting along too well and there's a lot of fighting, and unfortunately maybe there's some physical abuse going on or emotional abuse, it gives kids the opportunity to see and understand what really is a healthy relationship, and it also gives them an opportunity to disclose to either a teacher or to one of our coordinators as well of what might be going on at home.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, and so we're again, all of the curriculum is age appropriate, and we're really concentrating on the junior highs and the high schools because teen violence is going up. We don't know why. We don't know if it's because social behavior or lack of, because people are so ingrained in their cell phones and texting and social media. And so we don't really understand why we're seeing the rise in those numbers.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad to meet you, Hannah, and I want to thank you so much for coming today.
Well, thank you.
And we're glad to raise awareness for the community, what we can do to help your organization. And we will be coming belly dancing soon. I don't even know how to belly dance, but I will be there soon. And tune in next week for the Las Vegas Cowgirl. So we'll have some new charities and get you off the couch and start helping out.
Well, thank you very much.